from the Policy Summit on Evolving AI landscape in cancer care, and I am joined by the Vice President of Policy and Advocacy for NCCN. Welcome to the live stream.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the Digital Pathology Trailblazers.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Schatz. I'm the Vice President of Policy and Advocacy at NCCN. My team convenes these policy summits here at the National Press Club in DC, and we're so excited to be here today.
This is where we are at the National Press Club. And why are you guys putting them together? Because let me just give a quick recap what just happened. We had a panel of 5 pretty high stake and like high level cancer stakeholders who are discussing different aspects of AI and in cancer care. And then all the participants went to answer questions, right? And I'm going to let you know what the questions are, but let's start. Who are the panelists? Who are the participants? And why this combination?
Yeah, sure. So NCCN hosts this policy summit series every year. We host actually three summits a year. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on is that we bring diverse perspectives. So we don't want to just bring together a bunch of people who agree with each other. We want to talk about trending, timely, important topics around access to cancer care.
And that was evident in the panel that not everybody agrees with each other.
Yes.
Not everybody is equally enthusiastic. Everybody recognizes the potential, but they're like very much different perspectives from radiologists, pathologists, from pharma, policymakers. Who else was in our panel?
And later today, you'll hear from payers. You'll hear about utilization management. You'll hear from researchers, from healthcare providers. So, these are people who may not always agree, may agree on some things, but they all have different facets of this conversation that we have to understand in order to make good policy and to advance good practice. So that's the reason that we do that. We found it to be really successful, and it helps us because it informs our advocacy around these trending topics.
And who's in the audience? Because I'm going to show the room behind us. So they all went for lunch right now. But we have the stage and we have the audience. And who's our audience today here?
Yeah,
and we have an online audience as well, right?
Yeah, we do. And the audience is similarly diverse. So we get a lot of healthcare professionals, all different kinds of healthcare professionals, nurses, pharmacists, physicians. But we also get a lot of patient advocates, patients themselves and caregivers, researchers, pharma and biotech representatives. So that's one of the great things. We have a diversity of speakers, but also in the audience. And that's one reason you can see they wrapped up a little late today. We actually do these interactive conversations with the audience because we want to hear from them and get their insights as well.
Yes, so let's go to that because I made notes. What questions? So what happened? The panelists went off stage and formed like a nucleus, a center of this discussion group together with NCCN members, right? And the participants were asked 3 questions. So the first question was, what are the challenges with integration of AI, both for patients and healthcare providers? The second question was, what policy or practice solutions would help implement AI responsible? And I actually contributed to that discussion. And then the third question is, how can organizations such as NCCN or ASCO or other professional organization help support the implementation of AI, but in a very responsible, patient privacy and patient protecting way? So the participants went to talk to each other about this, and the NCCN members were taking notes. What's going to be the outcome of these discussions? How do you integrate it later into? Because at the beginning of today, I was like, I'm at the summit of an organization that basically defines cancer care in the U.S., but not only in the U.S., also in the world.
Yeah.
So how do you take this perspective from representatives of everybody who has anything to do in cancer in this country, And like, what do you do with those insights later?
Yeah, so we will be developing and publishing a policy report a couple of months after this event. So we're going to take all of the notes and compile them and put together a policy report with recommendations as well. And then that also helps to inform our advocacy on this issue as a guidelines organization for our team. So we really want this to be actionable, and we also hope, that's our work, but we also hope that people connect at these events and make connections where they can maybe work together on these issues moving forward as well. And I also really enjoyed the conversation I got to sit in, and it was interesting. A lot of our conversation, I'm not sure how your group was, but ours was a lot around trust, and how do we, put systems and regulations in place that elicit trust for healthcare professionals and also patients in using these types of tools.
That was a theme in the panel as well. The keyword that the panelists used was guardrails, because we have this super powerful technology, but we're afraid to use it because it's easy to trick the technology. So what kind of guardrails can you put in place to leverage it now for patients? Because at some point it's so powerful, you could do so much good. What do you put in place to be able to leverage it? Because at some point, because it's so good, you ask yourself, okay, is it ethical not to use it because you're afraid? How can you be basically safe with this, right?
I think it's such a good question. It's what are the guardrails, and then it's also how do we communicate to people so they understand what good high quality guardrails look like and can understand how to identify it to then feel comfortable using it. So I think these are all good questions. I don't know that we have all the answers, but
I think you have definitely had the right people on the panel, because you did have an AI and AI architecture expert that was like his message. Okay, we don't know yet what the guardrails are, but let's sit together, figure out what that is, and then the experts can put them in place. Right?
And it sounds like it has to be multidisciplinary. You need to have the medical experts, but also the tech experts, and everybody has to come together.
And that's something I deal a lot with in the digital pathology space. And we had one pathologist in the panel, George Reyes-Filio from AstraZeneca. He's a pathologist as well. So he started the discussion with, okay, whole slide images, AI for analyzing these images, and then it went far beyond this particular application. But what you said, like multidisciplinary AI is bringing all these disciplines together. And the area I come from, digital pathology, that's the case as well. It's software, it's hardware, it's medical experts, it's pathologists, it's the oncologists, and very multidisciplinary. And I think historically healthcare was very siloed. The drug development was very siloed. And these new technologies kind of force us out of those silos, because it was identified already, like, oh, we should not work in silos, but like everybody's still doing their job. And now suddenly you have something that everybody wants to leverage, and they have to come out of the silo, talk to each other, have like a base knowledge of what everybody is doing to be able to communicate with each other. So,
and outside of our comfort zone too, because I know I'm not a techie person, and I'm finding myself doing online courses and trying to find and learn more, because in order to engage with policy, I have to be informed. And so I think we all have to grow outside of our comfort zones.
Basically to do your job now, you have to learn stuff very much outside of your job.
Because it has the potential to really be a paradigm shift, but we need to make sure we do it the right way. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to be reporting one more time. So let's see if I can get another guest to join me, because who was our panelist?
Was it our moderator, Dr. Goodman?
Yes,
Cliff Goodman?
Dr. Goodman was a brilliant moderator, and I want to show him and like do a wrap up with him for my digital pathology trailblazers.
He's great. He's really good at consolidating all the information.
Yes, he was like had this great role of the connector between the panelists and the audience. And one more question, because he had a bunch of questions that would come from the audience. Was it from our audience here or from...
and virtual. So people can put in questions
okay.
online as well, and then we write them on note cards and send them up. So
because they were very specific, very targeted, and he had a bunch of these cards and basically was asking these questions to the panelists. So I'm looking
you
for...
could tell the question, a lot of the questions, people are trying to figure out how to apply this in their practice. That was a lot of the questions we were seeing come in. So
very much. People want it, but they want to use it safe. They want to use it in the right way, in a compliant way. They don't want to like get in trouble for leveraging something that maybe is available on the consumer side, like in your phone, but if you start doing it at work for patients, it's a big no-no. So
yeah, absolutely. Great. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. And we're going to see each other at, I think, around 3. Look on LinkedIn or YouTube or in your email what time the last live stream of today is. Thank you so much.